Welcome to the Midwest Game Nerds podcast. I'm your host, John, and here with me today is Brian.
Hey.
Alex.
Hello.
And joining us from Horror Movie Yearbook, we have Willie.
What's up?
Sweet. Yeah, we got like a whole crew of Midwest Podcast Network people in the house tonight. It's sweet.
True.
It's awesome. While you're listening along, why not head over to MidwestPodcastNetwork.com/support and check out all the various ways you can support us. We've got a support store where you can buy hoodies and t-shirts and all that jazz. We also have an affiliate link for Amazon, so any purchasing you do on Amazon gets us a little bit of money. And don't forget to rate and review us on all your favorite podcatchers so we can climb the charts and get more notice and what's another good word?
Visibility.
Power, awesomeness, something like that. And as always, if you like what you hear, or even if you don't, please do send us feedback via email at midwestgamenerds@gmail.com or via Twitter at MGNPodcast. And don't forget to add us on Instagram at MidwestGameNerds. Today, we are going to talk about some Resident Evil 7, which is, the first VR blockbuster, quote unquote. And we're also going to talk about some of the 2017 releases that are coming out that we're pretty pumped on. Before we do that, what else have you guys been playing? Willie, do you have anything other than Resident Evil you've been playing?
I do, actually. For the first time, this is the perfect week for me to
Okay, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
PlayStation had a flash sale just
recently.
Yes, it did.
And I spent like $30 on like 40 or 45 games. It was ridiculous.
That's awesome.
So the ones
they had so many games that were
it's like, seriously, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's over.
Damn it. For like $30, I bought Telltale, Wolf Among Us.
Okay.
And Game of Thrones.
Nice.
I got Lego Batman 3 because me and Nikki like to play the Lego games. They're a lot of fun.
They're a ton of fun.
Yes. I got Strider.
Nice.
I got what's the one with Fibbage? Jackbox 2.
Jackbox 2.
Nice. And then I got Primal Carnage.
Oh, nice.
Which I played last night.
The dinosaur game, right? Like Dinosaur Left 4 Dead or whatever.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's really good.
I think I have it on PC. I don't remember.
I think you do too. I think
Yeah.
it's one of the many Steam games you bought and never played.
Yeah, I have probably 70 or 80.
That's okay. Everyone's guilty of that.
But anyway, out of those games, what have you played all of them, or have you just kind of touched a few of the ones that you really wanted to play? Like
Primal Carnage, I played.
Okay.
Last night.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's really dorky.
It's super ridiculous, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's cheap. But it's fun.
Right.
I had a great time with it. Do not regret my
Is it kind of Left 4 Dead-y or what?
It's
is
more
it?
deathmatch.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really more.
But is it all just dinosaurs?
It's
dinosaurs versus humans.
Okay.
And there's different classes of each.
Okay.
I remember being a human and someone who was a raptor was stalking me and just jumped out of the bushes and attacked me because the raptor has a jump thrust attack that you don't ever see it coming.
It's like the hunter in Left 4 Dead. You can kind of charge it, pounce.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is fun.
I just looked at where the stream is at and Lizzie was staring right into the camera and it was really funny. I'm sorry.
That's perfect.
Anyway.
That's what we really need.
So yeah, no, totally worth it if you can get it cheap. It's fun, and there's people online playing it, which I was actually a little concerned about, but there are.
That happens when those sales happen. A bunch of people are hey, it's cheap enough.
Oh yeah, might as well waste $5 on this because when else is it going to be this cheap?
Yep.
Yeah,
even if you play for 10 minutes,
I would have wasted a couple bucks on it.
For sure.
But
so
I missed out.
It's fun.
It was in the Slack chat we were talking about.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I forgot to reinstall that on my phone. I was just thinking about that the other day. I wonder how much I missed out on.
A whole lot, man.
Apparently.
Yep.
So
Damn.
much.
What else? Anything else that's really stuck out?
Strider.
2014.
Yeah. Which is kind of it's a mishmash of Strider 1 and 2, which started in the arcade and then moved to console.
Right.
Capcom classic. Most people know Strider from Marvel vs. Capcom.
For sure.
More so than
I think that's where most people know him.
Yeah.
Right, from 2 especially.
Yeah.
Did not know that he was in Marvel vs. Capcom.
He's one of the best characters.
That's kind of cool. You're a varsity usually.
Yeah, I played actual Strider in the arcade or something.
Yeah.
This is well worth playing.
Cool.
It's super cool, and you feel like the ultimate badass anime character.
It was a PS Plus freebie at one point.
It was a long time ago because it was that was one of the first games that came out. Out like that January.
Yeah.
Right after PS4 released, and I remember playing it and loving every second of it. So.
For sure.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Well worth checking out if you're into the old school 2D hack and slash.
It's very Metroid-like.
Very
Castlevania-like.
Lots of exploration you can do if you don't have to follow
for sure
the path. But it's fun. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Cool. Alex?
I haven't played too much. I'm close to beating Majora's Mask on the 3DS. It's very good still. Very different Zelda. And then I did pick up 3 games, one of which I've played, 2 of which I haven't yet. But in that sale, I picked up Knack, which I have not played yet. It was $5.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Why not? And then I picked up Primal Carnage. Nice. So I will join you guys at some point. because Nick put it in the Slack chat, and then I was like, well, I guess I might as well buy it now.
You are going to become obsessed with trying to master the Pteranodon. I just, like, I know you. Like, you're going to be like, I'm going to make this happen.
Which one's a
Okay.
Pteranodon?
It's a pterodactyl type.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Can-
like you can essentially, in theory, it's not easy to do, but you're gonna figure it out. You can fly well above the level and then dive bomb and grab humans and lift them up and just drop them from the height to kill them instantly.
Sounds good. All right,
awesome.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I want
then-
that game now.
It's worth it.
And then the third game was Peggle 2, which we talked about a
Yeah.
while back. I played a little bit of it last night while I was on the exercise bike because I didn't feel like playing Xenogears. And it's fun. It's Peggle, and it's great.
For sure.
And that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, when I saw Alex playing it, my comment was, did you have to escape to a happy place after being scared to death playing Resident Evil?
No, I've been escaping from the political climate by going into Resident Evil.
Honestly, it's less frightening.
In a more idealistic world. But anyway, yeah. Brian.
What about you?
Z Brutal says, nice wiener, Alex. Thank you, Z Brutal.
Oh yeah, we're streaming on Twitch
Yeah.
Yeah,
for the
so
first time.
it should be up there for a little while. I might pull it down and put it up on YouTube so that it'll be there forever for people to go see. So take a look at Game Nerds YouTube and Twitch.
For sure.
But when we're making awkward references to a video, that's what we're talking
Yep.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes. We're doing everything all at once today.
Yes.
It's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got back into playing The Witcher. I was determined to actually finish it. The Witcher 3, of course. And either 111 or so hours later or 173, based on the in-game stats, I finally finished it. And I still didn't do like half the shit.
And that doesn't include any of the
That's crazy.
DLC.
No, that wasn't even the DLC.
0 DLC.
It was awesome. I gotta say, like, when I thought I was gonna be done was actually the 2/3 of the way through mark in the story, and then I was like, this is kind of ridiculous. It started to kind of slow down and just drag. It's like, hey, Siri wants to say goodbye to these 10 people before you move on to the final battle, and it just keeps going. But the final battle was really cool, and yeah, I can't stress enough. Like, if you like RPGs, you have to play that game at some point.
Right on.
It's awesome.
Anything else?
Started playing Dishonored 2 again to try to finish that. Didn't play too much, although I encountered some new mechanics that are super cool that involve time travel, and it's sweet.
Spoiler.
Yeah. That's no big deal. It's not much of a spoiler. Every
I've never
level
played
has like a
that.
different theme.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, that text message
different
thread we
mechanic.
had rolling yesterday was pretty funny. Was that yesterday or was that Friday?
Well, then Friday we were doing you were trying to get the For Honor code from
Yes.
from Zach, and then
Text
John. So what Brian doesn't know is that John and I like to make fun of Brian by just keep saying what he
I do it
says.
to everyone. I don't limit it to just
Okay,
Brian.
That's
did you
fair.
guys like Photoshop that
No.
message?
I can
It
show
actually
you-
sent that
Yes,
in
I
it?
can show
Well,
you
that
the
makes
message.
sense why you
So-
were making fun
so-
of me.
so-
Because I didn't see it that way. It just looked like me saying that thing once, not 10 times in a row. or whatever.
So on Friday, John's trying to figure out how to redeem this Uplay code or whatever, and Brian and John and I just keep repeating the same 3 things, which is like, check your email, ask Zach again, then check your email. And we said it like 4 times. So then the next day, Brian
ridiculous.
writes us and says, hey, there's this really cool time travel mechanic in Dishonored 2, a lot like Titanfall. And then apparently John received the text like 4 times,
Yeah.
because I didn't. And then...
So I blame your phone.
That's whatever, man. But anyways,
Or it's probably iMessage.
I
actually.
screenshotted it and I sent it back to them so they could see it. And
I
Alex
thought you
starts
photoshopped
laughing.
it.
And then Alex said something about like, why are you messing with the time-space continuum, space-time continuum or whatever? I
Yeah.
don't even.
That's perfect.
It was so
Um,
ridiculous.
It was pretty good.
Well, speaking of that, the other thing I played was For Honor, the
Yeah.
beta, and I'm really digging it. Like you apparently
Yeah,
don't.
I'll
like
jump
it.
in on this. Like we can talk about For Honor beta right now.
It's
As
just
part
a
of-
lot different. I mean, you don't see that type of multiplayer game too much,
Let-
and
let me
I like the fact that it involves some skill and there's actual depth to it.
It is a very different game.
It seems kind of...
It's like-
my impression of it was very much like a multiplayer Dark Souls.
It is it's like a multiplayer, multi-level fighting game. Like slightly open world, like multi-dimensional fighting game where like you have to. you're blocking shots, you're changing stances to like figure out if you want to strike from the left or the right, or block left, block right, block straight. Like, but it's like a fighting game, but it's
there are like
you're playing like
type
4v4. It's a 4v4 fighting game versus like an army on either side.
There's other ways to play it too.
Yeah, there's other ways to play it.
Like,
you could do duels. Like I don't. And that's
we did a lot of duels last night. Zach and I actually.
Was it Dominion? Is that the mode?
Yeah.
So Dominion is like capture points. You have 2 capture points, and then you have like the center point, which is like you have to force your front line like further through the center point to actually capture that third point.
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to run down there and like kill the other NPCs that are in there, while the other 4 like players are fighting you as well. I'm not into that at all. Like, not one bit. Like, to me, I could not figure it out and was just button mashing the whole time, and it sucks because like
button mashing is actually really bad.
It's awful for it, but I couldn't figure out how to time the attacks properly. I couldn't figure out like how to block properly while I was in the midst of fighting. And it's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it takes some practice, but it's rewarding.
I could see the duel thing being something I get
into. The 2v2 is fun too.
To like fight one person and not have to worry about capturing points and like fighting off other NPCs and things like that. Like I could see myself getting into that, but the Dominion, I don't want anything to do with that.
There's probably more modes in the final version.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. It's beautiful. It is a great looking game.
Yeah, I'm sure the textures will be even better in
the art style is incredible.
Release.
It's definitely one of the best looking games I've seen, and it's like that is a next gen game for sure.
Is combat realistic in terms of, I mean, do you have a health bar and it's like Dynasty Warriors where you're smashing and your health bar goes, or do you like realistically take 1 or 2 hits and you're done?
There is a health bar, but I mean, some of the enemies are so weak that you can get killed in a few hits.
So it's not Bushido Blade?
It's not
begging
no,
for
it's not
Bushido Blade.
It's not Bushido Blade.
Willie, I know where you're. I know.
But it is.
Shinada?
It's fun. Like it is a fun. Like I can see it being more than what it is. I can see it catching on. I can see it being something that's played in like the new esports league.
Oh sure.
It's just not really something I'm into. So
cool. I can respect that.
It might grow on you. Who knows?
It could, and that's the thing. Like
so you have a higher opinion of it than Overwatch, at least. Right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
But it's similar to like the Destiny beta. I wasn't really into Destiny at the beta, and I ended up loving it.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
It actually came out, so just my 2 cents on For Honor.
Zach
says, please ask the goat about pelvic thrust.
Did you get a pelvic thrust emote?
Sort of. Like you can kind of glitch out the emote, and it just looks like a constant pelvic thrust on one of the characters, and he kind of moans while he does it. It's just fucking hilarious.
That's great.
Good.
Have you played anything else?
No. That's it.
I played like all the freebies on PSN.
Yeah, the Swindle and a bunch of...
And the other, like, Terra Nova or whatever. I don't know what it's
called. I don't know.
Swindle's cool. It's the kind of game where I would want to play it on the go. Like, just as something I can pick up and put down quick while I'm, like, traveling or something like that. That's about it, though. I don't really care to play it for any long sitting.
What is it?
It's a side-scroller set in, like, a steampunk world where you have to, like, you're a thief and you break into homes and like steal money and hack computers and stuff.
Very moral game.
Yeah.
It's called The Swindle, so
yeah.
What were you expecting?
No, I mean the art style is really cool. I dig that, but the game itself is just kind of very like meh, like very bland. The other one I can't remember the name of it. Titan Souls?
Titan Souls I think is up there, yeah.
That's Titan Souls, that's the one I was thinking of. I played that for like 2 seconds and I died in like the first encounter, and I was like, okay, like I'm over this. Didn't really care for that at all. Played a little more Diablo, that was cool. Played some Terraria. I busted out my Vita, so I was like, playing a lot of stuff on Vita. No Man's Sky is great on Vita, by the way. Like just to play No Man's Sky.
For remote play.
Yeah, it's awesome. I picked up Metal Gear Solid. Phantom Pain, I played that for about 10 seconds and was like, this is too much game for me. And I turned that off. I busted out Battlezone. I bought a lot of
What'd you think about Battlezone?
Battlezone is really cool.
Yeah.
I can see it being something that expands. Like, it's definitely, like, it's something that's going to grow. It's not what I would consider like an A-list blockbuster for PSVR, but it's definitely a game that like is, you know, it's fun, it's different, and
Did you play online or no?
no, I just played by myself just to kind
We need to hook up
Yeah.
and play on it because that game, it's a lot easier than it was when it first came out because they actually started giving you health for your
Yeah.
tank when you kill other tanks now.
right on.
But that was not the case
Yeah.
for a long time, and it was very hard. But
Well, maybe when I stop having these like day-to-day migraines, like I can actually play VR
Yeah.
again. Which maybe that's why I have migraines is from playing VR so much.
Such
Hopefully
a
not.
huge delay on the video.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Mhm.
Don't worry about it. What else? I think that's it. Oh, I think I said I picked up The Witcher last time around. I played that a little more too.
yeah.
But mostly, I've been flip-flopping between playing Resident Evil and watching Silicon Valley to make myself like pull out of the fear.
Good.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's a beautiful
It's a
palette
good way to
cleanser.
do it.
Yeah, that show's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
So
super
good.
funny. That chick's pretty hot.
Friend of the Midwest Filmers podcast, Stephen Tobolowsky, is in season 3.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Really?
he's really good. He's
Yeah.
always
Have you not watched any season 3?
Yeah, I've seen all of it.
I've only seen some of
You
season
didn't
2.
realize Stephen Tobolowsky's in that? He's the what's his name? Jack.
I haven't seen it yet. I
Jack
don't know.
something.
It's kind of sleazy.
He's the CEO
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
company.
oh yeah. Did you guys interview him or
Yeah, I
something
interviewed
before?
him.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that episode.
He's great.
Sorry.
He's very Stephen Tobolowsky. in
Good.
that, So.
Good.
But yeah, that's it. We're gonna jump into anything else. Do you have game news?
I didn't really look at
Neither
anything.
did I, because I don't really care.
Yeah, that's
Anyways, we're gonna jump into the Resident Evil 7 experience.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Biohazard.
Or Biohazard Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
Brian, you did not.
Oh, Biohazard
uh,
7.
7
So
Resident
you
Evil.
can
Yeah.
help carry some of this conversation by asking questions. Feel free to jump in.
If you wish.
How scary is
It's
it?
pretty fucking
It's really
scary.
It's
man.
terrifying.
It's legit.
So,
yeah.
to clarify, Willie, you have beaten it and you played it all not in VR.
I played it without the VR on normal mode. That's
Okay.
probably important to mention.
Do you
Okay.
have a good TV?
Yes.
Okay.
John, you are
I
playing.
played it intermittently in and out of VR,
Okay.
and I have a nice TV.
How far are you? Do you know?
Not very far.
I have really
got
good
to-
questions, I know.
I got to like the area where I can go into the basement to the incinerator.
Okay.
And that's as far as I can get for
Okay.
the time being. I was having this
Man.
conversation in the car with Brian on the way here that like I play in blocks. Like I play up until I hit a wall of not being able to get past a specific boss or whatever, and then I turn it
You
off
gotta
and
put
I
it
walk
down.
away.
Yep. Same thing that I've been
And then I
doing.
watch Silicon Valley for 2 hours, and then I go back and I try again, and I'm just as frustrated. And I go to bed, and I wake up the next day, and I go to work, and I burn off all the fear, and then I come back home, and I sit down, and I try to fight another fucking boss, and I finally kill the fucking thing, and then I'm really happy for myself, and then I turn a corner, and that asshole jumps through the fucking wall and attacks me, and I die.
Well, geez, thanks for
Yeah.
spoiling that.
There's
No,
Now when I play the
that's-
game, I'm going to be
that's-
staring at every wall.
That's
Expecting
dynamic.
someone to jump on
It's
it.
it's
Be
just
ready.
It
well,
can
that's-
it can
that's the
happen
thing.
at every wall.
Yeah.
Like,
That's horrifying.
It's incredible.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't think I want.
No, this game. Okay, as someone who's played the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2, and then I also played Resident Evil 4. I skipped all that other shit because give me fucking break.
oh, no, I mean, hey,
I just can't do them.
Oh.
They're just not.
Willie has played every Resident Evil,
I just
every
think that's
mainline
insane.
Resident Evil.
Zero,
Well,
1, 2,
Unfortunately, the only one I've played is 5.
As a casual,
3. It's fun.
as a casual fan of the series, this game is amazing. It is so terrifying, and it looks great, and it plays great, and you have to keep telling yourself that it's not real, especially if you're playing it in VR.
Yes.
And you have to remember that it's a puzzle game. It's not necessarily a shooter. You can't play it like a shooter. I can't sit there and like.
You don't get enough ammo to play
can't,
it like
can't
that.
twitch like Destiny. You can't do that. You have to pace yourself. You have to reserve your bullets. You don't have a choice because you need to survive.
Yep.
But it's also the sort of game where I'm playing as this character, and with the VR helmet on, you feel as though you are Elliot, right? That's his name.
Ethan.
Ethan. Yeah, some E name.
Hmm.
Evan.
Right, Evan. Yeah.
Elias.
Just don't say E names now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Efron.
Eric. Earl.
Anyway,
Anyway, it's. I don't even remember where I was going. Oh, do I remember where I was going? No, I lost it. What was he? I had a point. I was making a point.
Do you remember his real name?
You feel like you are Ethan when you put the headset
You
on.
feel like you're Ethan when you have the headset on, and that's like I'm very. It's just like watching a horror movie where you're like, don't fucking do that. Don't walk in that room. You know
but you
you're
have
gonna
control
die.
over it.
You do, but it's the same sort of thing where like, if you want to propel the story, you're like, why is he making these stupid decisions?
So
like,
I remember very clearly there have been several occasions where I'm like, okay, the game wants me to do this. Especially like in the first part when you're trying to track down Mia.
Right.
Or after you found her.
Another spoiler.
Lizzie,
Thanks.
stop.
the game's forcing you to do things.
So,
in order to progress the story.
So you find Mia, you end up like losing track of her, and then you start heading downstairs, and then you start hanging. I immediately turned around and went back up the stairs, and I was like, I'm not gonna go down.
Just like rolling
Why?
up the stairs after
I was like,
you.
why? No. She didn't even come out, so I just went and shut the door, and then I went to go and try and open up the locked door again because I'm like, maybe it'll be open this time. No, it's not.
I watched Gojo last night play the first hour of this game,
Yeah.
which includes that part. And
Yeah.
literally, he walked down, heard the, and he went, nope, and
Yep.
he shut the door.
That's the exact same thing that I
You're
did.
going to live down there forever.
So that I mean, the game is very scary. It's very scary.
I do want to
especially
try
in
it.
VR.
I'm really sold on playing in VR, which I don't have a VR, so
Poor you,
yeah.
Willie.
Listeners, buy me a VR.
As a fan of
As a hardcore fan of the series.
yes,
Yeah, so, yeah, right, in terms of, I kind of break my favorites up into, like, pre-3D games,
Okay.
post. So pre would be like Mega Man would be like my favorite series.
Right.
Post is Resident Evil. So
Okay.
it's up there. To the point where I buy ridiculous Resident Evil shit for no reason.
The toys are badass.
Yeah, there's some really cool
When
ones.
did the first Resident Evil come out?
96.
It was one of the
On the
one of the
PlayStation.
first games on PlayStation.
I'm
Yes.
curious if the Alone in the Dark games predate.
They do predate Resident Evil. Resident Evil, the series, is primarily, there are really three influences. There's Alone in the Dark in terms of gameplay, because it does play similar to those tank controls where you have to, run and you have very limited mobility, which add to the horror, really.
Oh, for sure.
Then you've got the Romero zombie movies, totally an influence, there's no doubt about that.
Yes.
And then third is a game called Sweet Home, which was developed by Capcom way back in the day for NES. It was like the first horror game.
Okay.
It's about a group of people that go into a mansion, and there's creatures in the mansion. So it's there's a template there already for it. But yeah, Alone in the Dark is definitely a inspiration for
I
it.
may have only played one Resident Evil game that didn't feel like Resident Evil game, but I did play all three of the original Alone in the Dark games.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so if you've played those, you have an idea of kind of what the older
Yeah.
style Resident Evils are.
Cool.
I'm a huge fan. So I get through 5, right, which was back on 360 and PS3.
Yep.
And the way 5 ends, and I won't spoil a ton of stuff just in case, but the way 5 ends felt like a logical closure point. I'm like, okay, this is where my kind of investment in the story ends. The characters have completed that journey. So I'm like, I'm kind of done with it at that point. Like, I don't need to see anymore. And I really didn't. And for me too, the series had changed with 4. It had reinvented itself because it went from those tank controls and those pre-rendered backgrounds and the solve the puzzles to 4, which was more of a shooter.
it was I'm pretty certain it was the first modern day third person shooter.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yes.
came before Gears of War. Really,
it was
it's
the
actually
first game that felt like that.
Because that was GameCube,
that
PS2
over-the-shoulder-
era.
Right.
that over-the-shoulder view. That you see your crosshairs on the screen,
Real
almost like a first
snappy
person.
controls.
Yep, exactly.
Twin sticks.
And then 5 came out, which was a natural progression on top of 4. It added co-op, it added a bigger story, more enemy variety, stuff like that. So a lot of fans jumped off when 4 came around because they were like, this is not Resident Evil. And I get it, but for me, if you play 0, which is the one that came out right before 4, that was getting tired. I'm sorry, I love those old games, but that formula was boring. I was like, I've played this game 8 times already.
Mhm.
So I understand why they reinvented it. Then 6 came out, and I went, this is a piece of shit. It's really bad. And it's not even from a story perspective, it's because Capcom was trying so hard to appeal to everything that was going on in games at the time, that they made this hodgepodge mess of a game that really appeals to nobody. It's a big mess of a game. And for me, at that point, after feeling like 5 wrapped it up well and 6 was a mess, I was like, I think I've fallen out of love with the series.
6 is like 30 hours long. Too,
It's ridiculous,
isn't it?
and it's insufferable. I've tried to get through it, but I can't. And the thing is, I've never had an interest like that, like a passion for a franchise, where I've fallen out of love with it, where I've been like, it's not for me anymore. Right. So it was like this weird hollow feeling of like I'd look at my
something was missing.
I'd look at my Resident Evil games on the shelf, and I'd be like.
Did you have to hide them so you didn't have to look?
Yeah, like I put them in a drawer and hid them away. And like, but it felt sad. And I said, "There's no way, honestly, that this series can get back on track for me." Revelations 2 came out, and I'm like, I can't get into this. I'm just not into this series anymore. Yeah. And then 7, the footage came out, and I was super skeptical because of all the reasons I just said, and then because it's in first person. I'm not a first person guy. It's just not my thing.
Which is weird because we were all pretty hyped for PT. But then when Resident Evil was like, we're doing first person, everybody was like, that's not Resident Evil.
Right, because because once again, it's now established itself as that Resident Evil 4 style.
Yep.
And the fans once again are going, again? Like another reboot that changes the whole flow of the series. Anyway, I love this game. It took me about 2 hours to get fully into it, and then nothing particular happened 2 hours in, but I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh my god. I'm feeling the same things I felt when I played Resident Evil 1 for the first time.
Horror.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm
wetting myself?
Yep. I need to change my underwear. I am super intrigued by what's going on in this house, what's the mystery of it.
Right.
I am enthralled to figure out what the next. I mean, don't get me wrong, the puzzles are pretty simple in this game.
They are
simple. But they're fun because you get that feeling of it's the same feeling you got when you used to play Zelda on the NES, where you find that key that you were looking for, and he raises his hands high above his head, and you're like, yes, I can move along.
Yeah.
Or in Metroid, when you found a weapon that you could get through a doorway with, it's that same feeling of achievement. You get the snake key, and you'd be like, I can get through snake doors now. Like the world is my oyster. Let's go, baby. So the Capcom did it. What do you know?
They did an amazing job.
I'm back on board.
You really need to play it in VR.
I played the demo in VR, so at least I've experienced
I played
that.
the demo.
I know what the experience kind of feels like. I honestly don't think I could do the whole game like that, and not because I'd be scared, just because I think I feel safe.
So I've played all 7 hours that I've played in VR, and I'm surprisingly, they do this thing in VR that I know has helped some people, where when you turn the camera with the right stick, it clicks to like 30-degree increments. I turned that off, and now that it's fully smooth movement, I'm totally in.
So it's more of a fluidity thing.
That's gotta feel real immersive.
It's and it's fantastic. They have all kinds of different controls to help you speed up and slow down camera movement and help it become more comfortable for you. There were a lot of reports of people trying the demo in VR and just not like throwing up and not enjoying it at all. But then there have been a lot of people that have been like, I've tried the final release and played with these controls and it works perfectly for me now. So and I never really get to the point where I get nauseated or anything like that, but I will notice, and it was more so towards the start of the game, because I do feel as though I've become somewhat desensitized to the creepiness of it now. A little bit. It still gets me every once in a while, but I don't feel paralyzed with fear.
Have you been to the greenhouse yet?
I got through the greenhouse. So
that is about the point where I went, oh god, I can't. I think that was the one point where I'm turning it off for the night once I'm done with what I'm doing.
So here were my tactics here. What was the point that I was driving to?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. And I should say, Zach has been writing and stuff. He said Resident Evil in quotes with a little face next to it, and then he said cue safe room theme song followed by extreme urge to shut the game off.
There's a beautiful save room theme song in this game.
Is.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then quotes, "Whoa, this hall is dangerous." And then just a moment, I found something. Jill says, "What is it?" Barry, "It's a weapon. It's really powerful against living things."
Especially against living things. That first game is notorious for voice acting.
But so some of my tactics have been in order, especially earlier on in the game, I was there's a button under the PSVR to get it closer to your face.
Yeah.
I would push it as far away as I could and then continue playing because I was like, I know something's gonna happen here. I can't deal with
so
that.
That way it's like you're actually watching a screen instead of being inside the world.
Yeah, so I would have to do that and then I'd push it back on and it would be okay. But then the other
was playing in this 0.5 VR. Like, it wasn't full VR.
But that only happened every once in a while.
It was kind of
The other-
immersive.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was gonna
VR.
say was that I realized when I was fighting like the first boss or so earlier on in the game, this is the point that I was gonna get to, was that I would be playing along and then I would feel myself like doing this with my face, like just straining as like my ears were pushing up and my eyebrow, like it was, and that was like an accurate depiction of what I just showed you right there. And it was...
It's making videotaping this all the more worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out the video. But that, like, that was the worst part of it for me, was that I would just tire the muscles in my head, and then I would have to, like, stop for a little bit, because I was, like, straining against it. But...
Because you were Ethan.
Yeah.
I had to think about his fucking name again.
Yeah, you got it though.
But, no.
Elijah.
This game is remarkable. It is...
Egon.
Emo.
This is the best. This is the best of what VR can bring to experience, like traditional video game experiences.
Aragorn.
That's his name started with an
I-
A. but
Aragon.
No.
Aragon was.
Of
In
all
one,
the-
in one of my stupid philosophy of art classes that I took in college, there was a kid in the class whose name was Aragorn, and it was spelled with an E.
Like Era.
Yeah.
Gorn.
That's
yeah.
terrible.
And he was the worst human being I've ever met in my entire life.
Anyway,
He wasn't a human, was he? He was an elf.
He sucks.
Resident Evil 7 is, I think, the first really big reason to have VR to me.
Sounds like it. It sounds like it.
The
yeah.
game is enhanced by it in almost every way. Like the ability to peek around corners and kind of
Not that you really want to peek around.
but it is kind of like I can kind of duck my head over and see if there's anything down the hallway yet. Or there's also moments where like I was down in the basement dealing with some of the things down there. I don't want to say because
Plumbing issues.
Even if you call them what they are, it won't.
It doesn't
be
make
anything.
Getting the furnace to work.
But so I'm fighting these.
Home maintenance.
I'm
Yeah,
fighting
no
these
problem.
things, and I'm trying to fight them with the knife because I don't want to use any.
Which is totally
things.
doable. By the way.
It's completely doable.
It takes like an hour.
Yeah.
Is it a
You
butter
can
knife?
you can get
You have
into.
to
It
aim up
might
at
as
their
well be a
heads.
butter knife. Or one of those like switchblade combs. You know? Like,
It's a knife that you'd be able to take through TSA. Let's put it that way.
Literally, you have to awkwardly like pan your camera up towards their heads and just start going like that.
Yeah,
So
which is easy with the VR because you just have to look up at the head. That's the nice thing. The cool thing about this is that when you aim, you are aiming with your head in the
Love
VR,
it.
which is really nice compared to using the sticks. But I was trying to fight these things off, so I got into the rhythm where I would get up close to them to get them into an attack animation. I would run away, and then I would run right up to them, slash the hell out of them, and then I'd like wait until they start another attack, and then I would be turning my whole body around and ducking down so that I it's gonna hit me or something. I could maybe if I move the way that I am in real life, it
All the
will miss
while,
me.
his muscles were just going crazy.
Yeah.
well, it's the same as like when you play Star Fox or whatever.
Yeah.
You're, like tilting your body with the controller to make bank.
Except
Yeah.
this time it actually kind of does something in the game, so it's kind of it's really awesome.
Resident Evil 7 is a core workout. Alex lost 15 pounds playing. Most of
pretty
that was
much.
from shitting his pants. Just the rest of it was from the workout.
Just the stress sweat enough. I think.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
man. You lose a lot of water weight playing
For
this
sure.
one.
Zach said, I don't know if you guys ever played the teaser demo from the new Silent Hill that they were working on with Norman Reedus that got
PT,
started,
yeah.
PT.
I didn't
But there
play
was
it,
a
though.
ton of disappointment when it got canned, and I think Capcom caught onto it and made a new RE in its image. I think that's totally possible.
I think
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
that helped. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like, I don't know if it was like we're going to make this first person from the get-go, or if that was a decision that they made when, one, PT was popular, and two, PlayStation VR was a possibility.
And let's not rule out, Outlast was a pretty big success for
Outlast
the
was
game.
also, yeah.
Amnesia was a big success for the type of game it was. So PT wasn't the first even. So
Yeah.
I think even before that, but I think the outcry for that really probably pushed them to this is the
Totally.
right thing to do.
There was a gap in AAA horror games and they opened up a new idea. Like they opened it up to the bigger players.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I don't know how much Capcom was watching Amnesia and Outlast and things like that. What were you gonna say, Brian?
I don't remember.
It was another E name.
No.
I do want to say, in terms of it's a gorgeous looking game. The sound design is some of the best I've ever heard
Oh,
in a
for
game.
sure.
The set design,
Are
like
you
the
playing with
house.
surround sound too?
No, I'm not. I have a nice
Oh,
sound bar in
man.
front, but yeah.
You throw the surround sound on with the VR.
Oh, I'm
helmet.
sure.
And I want to get that stupid candle that they sell on the internet.
blood-scented candle?
The blood and wood.
Oh, I can make you one of those.
I'm sure.
There's some recipes on.
Anyway, John,
Ryan's
keep going.
creeping me out right now. I can make you one.
I will make you one.
I can make you a skin flute.
Out of bone and skin.
Yes, or a lampshade.
Out of the skins of your enemies.
He's got like a Texas chainsaw room in his house. It's animal bones and shit.
I've just been playing with the VR, the 3D sound through some Apple earbuds.
Yeah.
And it still sounds amazing.
But when you
adds
gotta-
so much to it.
When you got a dope ass setup like me, you gotta play with the surround.
No,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I totally agree.
When
I'm
you
sure
have
it's-
a
It's unbelievable. I cranked it. It
Cave.
was just like I was crying.
Yeah.
It's just
the other thing that I was going to say, graphically, in terms of non-VR, how would you say it looks?
Oh, I
Is it-
thought
it looks
gorgeous.
amazing.
pretty
It
gorgeous.
looks gorgeous. Yeah.
the
Character models are so. I mean, the thing is, there's not a lot of characters in this
Yeah.
game, so I think they were able to put more time and effort into
Yeah.
The
developing
textures
those.
and everything else. They look great.
Yeah, I mean the water effects, the flame effect, everything looks great. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful game. It really
Yeah.
is top to bottom, and they didn't skimp anywhere. I think sometimes with these kind of single player campaign focused games,
Yeah.
sometimes you can feel like there's certain spots they didn't put as much effort or work into.
I thought that they would skimp a bit because they were making it for VR too.
They did not.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
in VR, it looks a little muddy, but it's not exactly.
It looked great. I
It's-
mean, other than when my eyes started to get blurry for
It
some
runs
reason.
great, and no matter what, it's still immersive enough that it's fucking terrifying. Like,
On
I was
PSVR,
getting texture pop in like every
There's a
once
little bit
in a
of
while,
pop in.
and like even without the VR, I was getting texture pop in.
okay,
Is there any difference?
but
playing
even
on a Pro
even on the
versus
Pro, I'm
regular?
getting a little bit of pop in and stuff like
But I
that.
think that's something that obviously they're gonna try and fix that with an update, and then
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Well, the
And it's
other
not
thing
the
is,
worst thing in the
Not
world,
necessary. The
but-
game
When-
still runs.
when the pop in is like the weird black goop on the walls, it's even more terrifying because I just
Yeah,
feel
'cause
like the
then
wall
it's
is
like
bleeding.
going to lie.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, what is
Yeah.
going on? I
It's
thought I
like
killed
the
everything.
People that break through the walls or whatever.
Somebody named Banished Hope said, well, time to go buy a VR set in Resident Evil 7.
yes, buy it.
Agreed.
It's
Um,
amazing.
I want to say too, real quick, just in terms of story, if you're a Resident Evil fan, and I mean, look, they're ridiculous stories. Like,
Yeah.
It's become over the top, but if your concern is that this doesn't look tied to the other games, so like, why is this Resident Evil?
There's stuff. And there's something. Yeah. I did notice there was
Stuff and stuff.
It's very firmly tied, and you'll
Yeah.
see it.
there's a paper in the living room that's written by Ashley.
Alyssa Ashcroft, yeah, who's a character from Resident Evil Outbreak, which
Yeah.
is kind of fun. And there's other stuff too. You know, later on you find out like a newspaper
Yep.
article about the survivors of Raccoon City and stuff. So they add those little things.
Yep.
But I'm telling you,
There's also
there's a big thing.
there's also a keypad later on that makes the same noises as the menus from the first
Yeah,
2 or
that's
3
kinda fun.
games, which is really so. There's little nods here and there, and then on top of that, the script is also very like the main character remarks on like who builds this house, like
Yeah,
who
he
builds
jokes
things?
about these
Yeah.
puzzles and stuff because if you look at those old games, you're like, who would put this in their house?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
That's
like,
awesome.
so it's fun that they're kind of poking fun
So
at
they're
that.
pretty self-aware
Yeah.
and they understand it, and that's great. Like that, it's something that they haven't necessarily shown in the past.
Yeah, and there's even a file in as you were talking about, like with the little name references and stuff
Yeah.
in the files you find. There's actually a file that mentions that Oswald Spencer, who built the mansion from the original Resident Evil, he was the architect,
Yeah,
built this plantation.
really,
house.
that's
so you're
awesome.
like, oh, okay, he would totally put these
That's
wacky
him.
puzzles in there because he likes to do that.
Right.
So that was kind of cute.
Just
but,
a funny guy.
Yeah, he's
Fun
weird.
guy.
He's a little eccentric. You know?
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, it really is such a cool game, and I'm excited that apparently there's some free DLC coming out in spring.
And there's a $30 season pass that has a few other things coming as well. Some of it's VR. There's another thing that's not.
There's a few different like goofy scenarios, I guess, and some.
Yeah, they're doing like Jack's birthday party
You
where
have
you
to
have to
feed him.
feed Jack.
Ugh.
Apparently, it's going to be gross, but it isn't supported by VR. But it's probably still going to be fun. So
I just I'm really excited for what this is gonna do for VR.
yeah,
I haven't looked at the numbers. I don't know if people like the PSVR subreddit is so like temperamental. It's really hard to like gauge whether or not they're excited that there's like 66,000 people playing this in VR
Yeah.
or not. And you can go. I think you can check all the stats.
You can look at the stats, yeah.
For the entire game through like the revision or whatever.
Even if you, I think it's in the game on the main menu. So
yeah, well, it's to see all the stats of like how many people are playing, how many deaths have happened, like how
you can see how many people are playing VR.
In VR specifically, like
that's cool.
Yeah, and that's something they put in the game itself. So I haven't really paid attention to the numbers, but it's something like this game is definitely like a launching point, I think, for what VR what's to come.
I hope so.
It's really exciting, especially you've got titles like Farpoint coming out. And then people.
What's Farpoint?
That's the
first person
shooter. It's gonna have like the gun peripheral and everything.
It's a first party Sony game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and good on one thing too. I want to say is good on Capcom because it's a company that lately I feel like we've all felt is pretty. They just essentially re-released
remasters,
remasters,
remasters and whatever, and like kind of just stuff.
It feels like they were being a little chicken shit, and I mean, but I get it because it's a Japanese video game developer, and things aren't going great in Japan for video game companies.
Yes.
But for them to jump on this and embrace the VR technology so wholeheartedly before even bigger companies than them did, good on them.
But that's the thing is you need to take that chance with VR because that is the future of gaming.
They also kind of shit the bed on Street Fighter V as well. So to see them put out a quality Resident Evil and it kind of, it feels good. It's nice. Yeah. Banished Hope was Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
Oh, right on.
And he said he was worried about the fact that he could not finish 6, that some story elements I would miss out on because I think it's based afterwards. It does take place after the other games.
Jeff,
it's
I know
largely
exactly how
not,
you feel.
It's largely not connected. Yeah, Willie did the same thing. Zach said I wouldn't worry about playing RE6, honestly. It's the Uwe Bowl of RE games.
Honestly, nothing that happens in this game addresses 6 in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
This game sounds like it's mostly just self-contained, right?
It very much
has
is.
some references.
It very much is. The only stuff, like I said, there's some stuff in the third act that definitely ties it to some of the events of past games. I won't say which ones.
Okay.
Yeah, if you take this game and you take the Batman Arkham VR and you take like maybe Eve or like some other random game, like buy those 3 games right off the bat. Like, buy a PlayStation VR. It is worth every penny at this point.
Yeah.
I think so. And we're only going to see better things come.
Yep.
Well, I can't even find one right now.
They are very hard to find. Best Buy was restocked over the weekend and sold out.
Yeah, I've heard Sony's been having some production troubles.
They're still in Japan. People are lining up the day ahead to like buy them.
Well, they like their gadgets.
But still, that's. I mean, it's got to be a pretty insane attach rate because I think the PS4 hasn't necessarily sold insanely well.
I'm gonna have to settle for a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing to settle on.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll have one game to play for the next year.
There you go. I will say I almost had Willie's tears.
Oh yeah.
During Resident Evil 7.
Beautiful.
Very surprising. And it was not like I almost had
Tears of fear.
No, strangely enough, no. Although my wife Nikki watched me play the entire game, and she was amazing the whole time. Like she was
I love playing Resident Evil games as a pair. Like, I like playing them by myself. I don't like it, not because I'm that scared. Because I was playing this shit at like 12 o'clock at night. I don't give a fuck. I got real guns.
And that's the thing is like like when I used to play the old ones, I always had Zach was my support. I called him my spotter. I used to call him
Jason is usually the one who
can't have a spotter in VR.
I'm the one spotting.
He's my spotter. I'd be like,
remember
where that door was, Zach, because I will forget. So
we had like Resident Evil parties where there were like 8 people sitting around watching Jason play Resident Evil. I was really bummed Jason's not here right now because he was supposed to be on this podcast. Jason, pissed at you, even though you're not even going to listen to this.
Screw Jason.
Well, John, you should.
Now we're even more pissed at you because you're not going to listen.
Willie's really pissed.
Maybe when a few more of us finish the game, we can sit down and do a spoiler cast and have Jason.
Oh, I would love
that.
Cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because there's so many things I want to say.
I'll play through real quick before that.
You can come over, Willie, and I'll spot you.
Yeah, you
can spot VR. You can do it in VR.
I'm gonna be so swole after this. But yeah, no, I had Willie's tears, and it wasn't just from a nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just that, like, oh my god, I feel like I'm playing Resident Evil again.
Yeah.
It was actual storyline beats where I was like, I actually felt legitimately emotionally invested, and I can't say that about other Resident Evil games.
Right.
Like I like the characters, I think they're cool, I enjoy playing as them and watching them do cool shit. But I never felt like emotionally attached.
Do you feel like maybe that has to do with the fact that you're playing it from first person?
No, because it did not have to do with the Ethan character.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool.
That excites me into wanting to actually finish the game.
Dude, yeah.
How long is it? How long did you
10
do it?
hours.
10 hours?
And
Okay.
I will say I wouldn't say I explored. I mean, I checked.
There's a ton of shit in this game.
Yeah.
If you take psychostimulants,
Yeah.
you'll just see all the dots like in the area.
Of
It
stuff to
shows you
pick up.
hidden items, so you can go track them down once you're like all high on drugs.
Oh shit.
And so
how long does the psychostimulant live?
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah,
You
it's
get 2
not
minutes
long,
to chase
but-
them down, but it's you go, oh my god, how did they hide that there? Like how did I miss
Yeah.
that when I went through the room? So I will say I want to go back through on easy, which I know seems weird, but I want to go through on easy and like find everything.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about the stress of the game this time.
Surviving.
Right. It just you do unlock
See, this-
Madhouse afterwards, which
I would love,
Yeah.
for Capcom to just make a horrifying puzzle game
Yeah.
where I don't have to fight things. You know, like I want to play that. Like I want to discover, figure out the mystery and like you guys
more
were
like
talking about-
Myst.
Yeah, like
But-
the Mist or like Mist or like the Witness. Like you guys are
I
saying
think
Witness, like,
another company should make that.
that's fine.
Capcom's not
would
really
like
a
to-
puzzle company.
Even,
I
but
wanna
no,
have
like this
more
game
of
is
that, I
filled
think.
with puzzles that are fun and interesting. It would be interesting if they were just like, here's the no enemies mode, where there's just maybe like
Right.
jump scares and things like
But I
that
mean, it
to
would
make
be
it
fun
creepy
if it was
and
harder too, though.
yeah, no, I agree.
Actual difficult puzzles.
It'd be cool to make a game where you're a guy on an island with amnesia.
Or-
You have
or
no
maybe-
idea what's going on, and you just have to discover the mystery. That'd be kind of fun.
Or maybe
you know?
the fighting in like
Isn't that what Myst is?
in
I think so.
in the no enemies mode or whatever, instead of you actually having to control the fighting, it's just quick time events or something.
Yeah.
That like it's easier for someone who just wants to propel the story and
Yeah,
like,
I don't want
also
any
do
quick
the
time
puzzles.
events. No thanks.
I'm just using it as an example to like that way they don't really have to change the mechanics of the game as much as like you're just
You're just doing it because you're scared.
yeah.
You're so scared.
I
I
was-
just want to know that story.
I was kind of save scumming a little bit because I would find a psychostimulant. I haven't actually used any of the psychostimulants that I found because I would
This is
I would-
so
He
This is so
uses
good.
it and then reloads and then goes back and finds the
Yeah.
shit.
what I do is I go and save and then I take the psychostimulant and then I run around the house and find all the things that I haven't gotten yet and then I reload
That's what it did.
because that's just how I do
It's
it.
so smart though. I
Yeah.
mean,
But yeah, Zach says Willie Zari GPS reporting for duty. The amount of secrets hidden within the teaser demo was crazy, like pointing the mannequin finger at certain objects. I don't know how
What?
anyone figured that shit out.
I didn't
Which is
figure
cool.
the
anything
dummy
out.
finger comes into play
Yes, it
in the,
does.
in the final
Yes,
game.
it does.
Fucking A, man. Yeah,
But-
it's just good.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Play it.
Yeah, Willie, before you go, what's going on Horror Movie Yearbook this week?
We are talking all things 1998,
Yes.
and that includes Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On" music video,
Thank God.
the Bill Clinton Monica Lewinsky sex scandal,
Nice.
My
Stone
favorite
Cold Steve
stuff.
Austin drinking beer,
Yes.
and then also horror movies.
Oh,
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Urban Legends,
Nice.
The Faculty,
Nice.
and Disturbing Behavior. So we're very
Beautiful.
excited about that.
Beautiful. Yes, horrormovieyearbook.com or Horror Movie Yearbook on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, all those things.
Yeah,
Check it out.
we're fun. Listen to us.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, that one episode I listened to was good.
Yeah, exactly. He liked it so much he knew he couldn't top it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway,
Right on, man.
All right, guys.
Thank you for being here.
I got a Royal Rumble to get to. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for
Really
coming.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I hope Brock Lesnar eats all the babies.
Yes. See you later.
See you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Willie. Grab the mic stand on the table.
Okay.
Thanks. Anyway,
Anyway.
that's it for
that's,
Resident Evil for now.
We're all for it. We love it. Everyone should buy it. You should also buy a VR.
Okay. On to the next segment.
Yes.
Yeah, so next segment we're going to talk about some upcoming games for 2017 here. We're going to start, I'm going off the Wikipedia article,
Oh.
so we're already at like the end of the month here. So tomorrow, Disgaea 2 and Double Dragon 4 come out for Windows.
Double Dragon 4 is it's a brand new Double Dragon game in the style of the old ones.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Because
yeah.
they made Double Dragon Neon a couple of years ago, and it was a 3D'd brawler. But now they decided just to go back and do it in the same old style.
Right on. I don't know how you want to go through this.
You can do that. that way works
one
for
at
me.
a time, or are you just gonna go through stuff I actually care about?
We can kind of like just go through the things that we think other people will care about, or that kind of thing. So.
All right, Dynasty Warriors God Seekers comes out on the 31st.
I don't really care about that.
Fire Emblem Heroes.
The complete first season of Hitman comes out on January 31st.
That does interest me. I want to play
Why
that.
is that not on this list?
I don't know. Actually, go to search Game Informer 2017 release. I just realized that list is actually much better than the Wikipedia one.
Probably. Wikipedia can be sketchy sometimes.
It's not that it's sketchy. It's just that it's more comprehensive on another site. So.
Yeah. Anyways, and moving along to February.
Yep.
What was I saying?
You were saying Fire Emblem Heroes, the iOS game, is coming February 2nd on both Android and iOS on the same day.
So Nintendo's third foray into mobile.
Yeah.
gaming,
Yeah.
If you count Miitomo.
And it's got it's a completely, you can dump as much money into it as you want to.
Sweet.
There's no cap on it. Cool. But it looks like a Fire Emblem game, and the whole battlefield is on the one screen, so that's cool.
Oh, this is one I forgot to talk about in what I've been playing. Neo comes out on February 9th.
Yeah.
Neo is the samurai/Dark Souls-esque game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried the demo. I did very poorly.
Yeah, I'm awful at that game.
Yep.
Like worse than Dark Souls.
Yes, I couldn't
Bloodborne
accomplish
combined.
anything in that game.
Neo is kind of what I was thinking about for For Honor, because I know there's different stances that can counter different attacks and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
it's not really like that.
I'm just going to assume it is, because I'm probably not going to play For Honor. But anyway.
Well, speaking of For Honor, that comes out on February 14th, also known as Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. People like me will have something to do.
Are you going to pick it up?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
I don't know if I am.
Yeah.
I'm up in the air about that.
Brian, are you excited for Halo Wars 2?
Not really. I didn't play Halo Wars 1.
Yeah.
I have access to PC RTS games, so I see no reason to play
Well,
Halo
this one
Wars.
coming on PC as well, so
Yeah.
there you go.
That's
That might make it
interesting.
better for you.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of playing an RTS without a mouse.
Yeah.
Lego Worlds is coming out February 24th for Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Yeah, that's in early release right now, at least on Steam. I don't know if it's on Xbox One or not. I haven't gone back to play it in a long time,
And
so I
which
don't
one
know
is
if it's
this is like the open world one?
It's kind of the Minecrafty Lego game.
Okay.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
So
And I think we're all getting this one, Horizon Zero Dawn,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, I want to check that out. That looks
Okay.
cool.
That's one that they're like pushing the pro with, right? So you kind of
Yes.
have to.
I don't know if you have to, but it's supposed to be pretty crazy.
Pretty.
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 When does that one come out?
February 28th.
Okay.
Moving into March, the first one listed is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild,
Yep.
March 3rd.
Sold.
I
And
am
the Switch.
getting that.
And 1-2 Switch, and Super Bomberman are, and Just Dance 2017, and Skylanders, Imagineers, I Am Setsuna, World of Goo, Little Inferno, Human Resource Machine. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
So all those games are March 3rd. That's like the Switch release.
I'm probably gonna pick up those first three.
Well,
That's my
I guess
plan.
I'll cancel my Breath of the Wild pre-order and get the
1-2 Switch, Just Dance
totally.
2017.
Yeah, those.
I was gonna go with 1-2 Switch,
Human Resource Machine.
Super
Yeah.
Bomberman R, and Legend of Zelda.
Well, I don't even have a reservation for Switch, so I'm not gonna get any of
I was gonna get one for you on Amazon, but they went down before. They went down in like 2 seconds. So.
Boo. Boo.
Yep.
Well, maybe I'll trade you mine for your VR.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Right.
Ghost Recon Wildlands comes out on March 7th. The beta for that is this coming week, March 3rd, or
Well-
February 3rd.
Depending on if I can play the beta and what I think of it, I might pick that up.
Yeah, if I can play the beta, I'll probably. I mean, it looks pretty rad. I might be into that.
Unfortunately, I mean, I'm trying really hard to not buy as many games this year, but
Yeah.
I want to
You're
be
gonna
able
fail
to
at that.
actually talk about games.
Yeah.
Too.
Let's see, March 14th, Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Yeah.
For
That looks
PSVR.
cool.
Buy.
If I had a
You're gonna have
VR, I would pick that up.
I've
I've played Space Team and it's a lot of fun.
I hope it's not $59.99, but even if it is, I'll probably pick it up just because I really want to play Space Team with people in Star Trek. So.
Mass Effect Andromeda, March 21st.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Zach said Mass Effect Andromeda. In
Yeah.
the,
I took the day after its release off of work just to play.
That's what truly makes you a nerd.
Yes.
I'm contemplating taking the day off for the Switch.
Yeah, if only I could.
Oh, I
those
took
sorts
that
of
off
things.
too, actually. But that's because I'm also going to a whiskey festival that
You mean the Japanese company that you work for doesn't realize these things are going on?
That should be a national holiday.
They don't care.
Oh, Nintendo's releasing a new system. Everyone gets holiday.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Nintendo holiday.
The Japanese people never get to play video games because they don't go home. So,
Right, it's all work, no play.
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix.
I already own those on PS3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody actually cared about those.
There was the one just came out, 2.8 final chapter. I don't even know what the hell it's called,
That's
but
a pretty
it does
confusing
have
title.
a section. It has a little game that is built on the engine that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to use.
Okay.
I saw some pictures and videos of it, and it looks gorgeous. It's insane how good it looks. But
Right on.
yeah,
April Persona 5 on April 4th.
I might actually pick it up.
I'm curious about it, to be honest.
I might do it because I tried that first Persona game and I just didn't get it. But I was so young at the time, I don't think I would have cared at all about like building relationships with your classmates and stuff like that.
Right.
So, and I always just felt like Pokemon did it better in terms of like catching monsters and stuff like that. But I wanted, after playing some of Tokyo Mirage sessions, Tokyo Mirage,
Jason
Sessions.
Mraz. Sessions.
I'm pretty interested in Persona 5. So,
This AZ.
okay.
Anything else in April?
Yeah, I don't know. Ukulele is the
I don't
it's the guys from Banjo-Kazooie making a new game that got
Cool.
kickstarted.
Never really cared for those to begin with.
Some people might care, Joe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for Switch, April 28th.
That might be the second game I get. Because I don't have another Wii to play it on.
Yeah, that's fair. I've heard there's battle mode coming, which is kind of the bigger thing. I don't think there's any new tracks, but yeah.
May, you have Prey coming out on May 5th
Yeah.
for PS4.
That I'm definitely going to pick
That
up.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I
I've been
wanna
seeing
pick
a lot
it
of ads for that right now.
It looks like a cross between Bioshock / System Shock and Dishonored.
I find it
Sign me up.
interesting that they're pushing it as hard as they are with marketing now, like
Yeah.
4 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
I read a lengthy Game Informer article about it too, and it definitely sold me on it more.
Right on. Injustice 2, May 16th.
Don't care.
Yeah, I don't.
iOS and Android too. What's that all about?
They've been putting out versions of that. I think they did an Injustice and a Mortal Kombat 10 on iOS, and they make it so that you can spend money on it, and it does really well.
What?
Yeah,
Huh?
but anyway.
In June, Tekken 7, June 2nd.
Yeah, that's cool. Zach says they better have a new Mario Party on the way.
They probably
We'll see.
do.
I've been playing some Mario Party 10 with Nicole, and it's really not. It doesn't feel like a Mario Party.
The one
anymore.
that we had on GameCube was the best.
That's
one.
like and I think that was either 4 or 6.
I think it was 6.
It was probably 6 because
Everyone is domination.
I meant to buy that one and I bought 5 instead, and 5 is not as good as,
Oh,
as
you
the one that we
screwed
were
up.
playing. Yeah, so
I have never played a Mario Party game. I would like to.
They're fun.
Yeah, I've heard they're fun. I would like to probably drink while I play it,
yeah, that's a good idea.
but I mean that's how I feel about most things.
Yeah.
Let's see if this Wikipedia has anything.
Well, there were a few other things. The Wikipedia's got a big list of stuff that doesn't have release dates yet, so you should go there for that. But one that I was on my list for last year is Below. I
Yeah,
hope it comes out this year by the guys that did Sword and Sorcery. It looks
that looks
awesome.
really
It
cool.
sounds
I like
cool.
the style of it.
Yeah, it basically feels like another kind of roguelike dungeon crawler, which is
Yeah,
right
I think
up
it
my
has
alley.
some survival elements to it too.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that, and I hope it finally gets a release date this year.
They're saying Dirt 4 is coming out on June 6th, and I wanted to mention that the developers of the Dirt games, they've got Dirt Rally coming out for PSVR.
Nice.
And
Yes.
I believe I read that the developer said if Dirt Rally VR does very well, chances are Dirt 4 will have VR.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about Dirt Rally. I want to pick it up at some point. But yeah, VR would be awesome. VR would be perfect for any racing game.
Yeah, I feel like puking.
I actually heard because of the fact that you are in a vehicle, it tricks your body into making you not want to throw up as much as like playing a first-person shooter.
Interesting.
I guess to cover some news, there was that Fire Emblem Direct where the iOS game was announced. They're also putting out Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia in May. It's on May 19th.
Yeah.
It's a remake of the second game coming to 3DS.
There are a lot of unscheduled releases.
Yes, there are. Ace Combat 7 is going to have VR support.
That looks like it'd be fun in VR.
Which is cool.
I guess I just need to buy a VR.
Yeah, I think everybody should.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
It's really not going to help me spend less
That's
money on gaming.
The more people who buy VR, the better the chances are that we're actually going to get like decent quality games
Yes,
to play.
and that is strictly the one reason that I purchased Resident Evil instead of renting it. I was like, I wanted to show support for PlayStation VR. So Zach says we need to have a Mario Party for sure. I agree.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even though he was just here, we should have had one while I was here.
Yeah, well, he didn't say anything until he was back.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
It's coming at some point this year. Gojo chastised us in the group text for not telling. No, he's like, nobody told us, and then I was like, I think we went over that on the PSX episode, Gojo. So we should listen.
Probably listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
Crackdown 3 coming in Q4 maybe, unless it gets canceled like everything else at that press
I don't
conference.
think they're going to
was.
cancel that.
We'll see.
But if they do, then they've basically got nothing to show from that whole conference.
Cuphead, Q2, Q3.
Kind of cool.
I don't know what the hell that one is.
That's a
Oh, that's the one that's like
platformer
the old school.
Yeah,
single
yeah.
hand-drawn,
style.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember that one now.
So interested to see, because that one I think people were talking about, oh, it's just boss fights, and then it got delayed to maybe make more of a game around it. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see.
Divinity, Original Sin 2. The first one did really well.
Heard really good things about the first one. But
Detroit Become Human.
yeah, the next David Cage
No announcement date for that.
Quantic
yet.
Dream thing. Hopefully that comes this year.
Earth Defense Force 5 is on this list.
Oh yeah, Gojo's down.
Farpoint.
Yeah, Farpoint's kind. I
I'm
still
excited for
haven't
that.
watched anything about Farpoint.
There's only this like short 2-minute trailer, and
Is
it
there?
doesn't really show much. I just want to play the damn game.
Yeah.
Just give me the game already.
Give me a fucking demo. Let me play it like for whatever 20 minutes and call it a day, just so I can say how cool it is.
Yeah.
I feel like now that we're live streaming, you've sworn more than... You've been swearing more than usual.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Nobody cares. Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. You
I
gonna
don't
pick
even
that
know
up?
How that is?
It's the HD remaster of Final Fantasy 12.
Really?
Yeah.
I may have to because I actually like 12.
Yeah.
Gollum, that's coming out for PSVR.
Mhm.
That looks really cool.
Full Throttle
never heard of
remastered.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll definitely play that.
Let's see.
Gran Turismo Sport supposedly coming with VR support.
Kind of over Gran Turismo, to be honest with you.
Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale series
That seems pretty cool.
might be good.
Hmm. I'm
There's
pretty
so
behind
many.
in my Telltale games. I
Lego-
still need to play A Wolf Among Us.
Lego City Undercover, which is the GTA style in the Telltale Lego games that came out for Wii U, is getting a re-release on everything: Windows, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One. So that might be. I
Nintendo
do.
Switch?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, a game.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite coming. Willie will probably check that out. Metal Gear Survive. Don't care.
That looks really dumb.
Really don't care.
Yeah, I haven't even paid attention to that at all.
It's built with the Fox engine by Konami still, but it has nothing to do with Metal Gear.
Gotcha.
Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, sequel to the
Nino
Studio-
One.
Studio Ghibli RPG that came out for PS3.
Yeah. Outlast 2.
Yeah,
That's coming out if it's not already.
Q1.
Power Rappa the Rapper remastered.
There you go.
That'll be sweet.
Pyre.
I never played that game. So.
It's like stupid fun.
Pyre is a game coming from Supergiant, the people who did Bastion and Transistor, and
cool.
Yeah.
supposedly looks pretty sweet.
So it's gonna look awesome and probably have some cool mechanics.
Yeah,
And I'll play it for a little while and never finish it.
Yep.
Like the other 2 games.
yeah, that's how I do it too.
Right on.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Q3, Q4.
Hopefully it actually comes.
We'll see.
I'm gonna put that on the 2018 list. That's not
See you-
coming out this year.
Zach
Sea of Thieves.
Zach said yes, take my money for FF12, and then Jeff also said FF12 with another face on it. I don't know what the face is, but
Sea of Thieves is coming out quarter one. I didn't realize that.
yeah,
That's
I don't think it's gonna.
probably not.
It's probably not gonna
They'll
come out
probably
at
push
all.
back.
They'll
I
probably
bet it gets
cancel
pushed back. Yeah. Oh, Sonic Mania actually looks pretty awesome.
That's what I've heard. That's coming out on Switch too, right?
Sonic Mania is coming for Switch and everything else, but it looks like it is. It's a Sonic game in the style of the old games. It's just
Yeah.
really crisp looking graphics, though. You know, like Street Fighter HD Remix, like kind of very beautifully drawn stuff. So I kind of want to check that one out. But yeah,
South Park, the Fractured Butthole.
yep.
I have to check out the other South Park game.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the Fractured Butthole, but it's kind of because that's the superhero game, whereas
Cool.
the Stick of Truth is the fantasy game.
Mhm.
So
Splatoon 2, Q3, Q2, Q3.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's on my list of Switch games I want.
Star Citizen.
If that actually comes out,
Yeah,
right.
skip it.
Then I do want to check it out.
State of Decay 2. The first State of Decay was pretty cool.
I think this one's gonna have co-op though,
That
which
would be
is
good.
what I really wanted from the first one.
Super Mario Odyssey
Yeah.
coming
Mario
Q4.
Odyssey is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
That's
It's kind of
Okay,
weird.
so I
it's
got
coming out
like a
so late.
handful of Switch games to get this year.
I mean, yeah, there's stuff
But
to get,
it's
but
just gonna take all year for them to come out.
which is how the launch of a console goes.
Yeah, that's true. I had
So-
like 2 games for my Xbone when I got it.
Yep. Yeah. Other than that, there's a Toe Jam and Earl game coming out.
Nice.
Untitled Destiny sequel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Untitled Battlefront sequel.
They're gonna be real tight-lipped about Destiny until E3, I think.
Yeah, I would say if we don't see anything there.
Well, I'm sure I'll get that, and then I won't need any other games.
If we don't see anything like significant there, then I would bet it's coming next year,
Yeah.
which I think would be a mistake for them. But
I think so too. I think they need to put it out this year. I think you're gonna have a lot of really, really pissed off fans.
yeah,
They've probably
for sure.
been working on the sequel since they
Since
even
launch.
released Destiny.
See, you
1.
say that, but I feel like they've been working on the sequel since after The Taken King.
Okay.
That's kind of how I feel. Because all those stories came out about how...
that may be the case, but I'm assuming they probably had a lot of the elements worked out ahead of time, like what they were going to do to revamp the engine to make it easier to work with.
Well, yeah, and that's
a lot
the
of the
thing.
art elements and things like that have been in processing in the meantime.
The idea that they need to go back and rebuild the tools to make the game,
That's still all speculation.
I mean, in all reality,
it's all but
they
confirmed.
kind of need to like
essentially.
rebuild the whole game because that was their plan anyways.
Yeah.
So.
So I,
There we have it. We talked about Destiny.
hmm
Time to move on.
We had to.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't know if there's
The
anything
rest
else.
of this is all. I mean, it all being up in the air makes it kind of hard. Plus, a lot of the stuff I've never even heard of. But Scalebound was canceled. That's on here,
That's fine.
and Titanfall Frontline was also canceled.
That's fine too. It's just a mobile.
Oh, that's the card game, right?
The mobile
Yeah.
game, yeah.
Oh, hey, isn't the Witcher card game coming out this year?
Gwent?
Yeah, the standalone.
Maybe not.
I'm pretty sure. it is.
Zach says, new Destiny, already making plans to solo over Crota.
Zach Buff.
Yeah, let's see. Gwent, the Witcher card game, has no release date.
I'm gonna guess that will be out this year
I
though.
don't know. It is CD Projekt Red. Might come
Sure.
out in like 2035.
Right.
Well, whatever. It's worth the wait. I'm super pumped about that Cyberpunk game whenever it comes out.
Yeah, that one's 2045. So
They got a apparently they got a grant from the Polish government to research like simulating cities or something crazy.
Oh yeah, because
That's
in
cool.
Europe they actually value the arts and sciences and things like that. Unlike America,
Yeah,
where we silence.
we have no values.
yep. Yep.
Boo.
Yeah, other than that, I don't know if there's too much in terms of news that happened. Oh, Square Enix and IDOS and Crystal Dynamics
Yeah,
have a
the Avengers.
multi-game deal with Marvel right now. They're making an Avengers game.
That's pretty exciting.
That is
Yes.
pretty cool.
Isn't the Insomniac Spider-Man game supposed to be out this year?
Not definitively, I guess.
Huh.
Zach says he played the Gwent and Elder Scrolls card game betas. He said he liked the Elder Scrolls more personally. Lots of unique mechanics.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Let's take a
I
look at it.
prefer Hearthstone over Gwent, but I do like Gwent. It's interesting. I would like to be able to play against other people.
Yeah.
I have not tried the Elder Scrolls one though.
Spider-Man PS4, yeah, it also does not have a release date. But I would assume it's probably coming either late this year or early next. So that's cool.
Sweet.
But-
So those are a bunch of the 2017 releases.
Yeah, there's your
We
low
probably missed
energy.
a bunch, but you can let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you're looking forward to.
We want to know. You can tell us that by sending feedback email to midwestgamenerds@gmail.com, or you can tell us on Twitter at MGN Podcast. And don't forget to add us on Instagram at Midwest Game Nerds. I have like some sinus issue going on right now.
Or if you're one of the few people that are
Sorry,
actually
please.
watching us record this, you can tell us now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Zach and Jeff, if you have anything you're looking forward to, let us know. I saw a thing today, I don't know if it was a Humble Bundle or what it was, but there's like a John Wick bundle going on,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is like
it's
Payday and a
Humble
bunch
Bundle.
of stuff. I can't find the link to it,
And
but
it comes
apparently...
with the, you get like a pre-order for the VR if you pay. a
Yeah,
certain amount.
John Wick Vive game, John Wick Chronicles for
Yeah.
Vive.
Yeah,
Would be fun.
Did you see there was like a demo of that, like a demo trailer sort of thing.
I hate to admit that
No.
I haven't seen that movie, but
Ugh.
I think I would like it.
Get out of here.
It showed dudes
Do you
like
own it?
with the
Can I buy
Vive
it?
controllers like
I might. We'll
ducking
see.
and dodging bullets and shit.
That's
and, like,
awesome.
Shooting the guns. Like,
That sounds great.
yeah,
I'm totally down.
they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's just about it. Midwest Film Nerds had a new episode this
They
week.
did. It was really good. I
Yeah.
had to listen to it.
It's just about favorite movies of 2016 and also what's coming up in 2017 that we're excited for. Our first.
It was very funny. There were a couple really funny lines.
Good.
I can't remember them now because I suck at that. But
We had it built
How
up
many
for a couple
episodes,
weeks.
like post hiatus episodes, have you guys
That's
done?
just the
first
one.
one.
That was the
Okay.
first one. So
201.
I figured you would have done one for at least like Rogue One or something.
yeah, we wanted to, but it kind of felt like getting the band back together too soon or something like
Yeah.
that. So
You don't want to lie about going on hiatus, right?
yeah.
Well,
Zach
they
says.
said it was a working hiatus.
Yeah.
So.
Zach says Mass Effect Andromeda is most highly anticipated for me. I'm replaying through the trilogy as we speak.
Yeah.
I'm also very excited for Mass Effect Andromeda.
Me too. That's definitely one of my favorite series.
My list that I kind of came up with was Horizon, Zelda, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Mass Effect, Persona 5, and then below Red Dead and Super Mario. Those are kind of the ones that I
Did
came
not really write a list.
I didn't either.
But I would-
doing that.
I mean, offhand, I would say Zelda, Mass Effect, Red Dead, if that actually happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah, Zach says Red Dead Redemption 2, if it happens, is probably second. We had so much fun online with it. I trolled Joey with Molotovs all day.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm sold on getting it for PS4 if we control Joe.
Oh, dude, you need to. Because we did... Red Dead, when we all had an Xbox 360 and we were all playing Red Dead and we would push bears into the lake and like it would break their AI and all kinds of crazy stuff. It was a lot of fun.
I know,
And then we would go to the castle in Mexico and just wreck shit for like an hour straight. And then Joey would start killing all of us for our bounties and then we would all turn on Joey. So it was pretty good. Jeff says Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Neo are his most anticipated of the year. So,
Right on.
Yeah, we're going to be on Twitch from now on. It's probably going to be on Sundays. Most likely. Maybe Saturdays. I'll try to, when we decide on it, maybe I'll post something on the Facebook so people are aware and they can come watch us if they want. Or it might be up on YouTube if you want to catch it after the fact.
Also, if you follow us on Twitch, you can set up...
yeah, it'll notify you when we go live. So
that's what I do.
Zach says, Alex, remember Get After Him? I don't remember that specifically, but I do remember good times doing that stuff. We played Goodwill Hunting, where we would make our friend Will would get online and then have to go hide, and then a team of 15 of us would go and find him and try to kill him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But
Good times.
Yep.
Cool. Well, Alex.
Yeah.
Anything else coming up?
Not really, just Horror Movie Yearbook. Nick and I are talking about a few things that may or may not happen in the future. I'm starting to outline what I want to do with my sciencey show that I haven't really announced yet.
It's hidden from us.
To be unveiled.
Yes,
in
the future. So
it looks pretty cool from here. I can see it.
Just episode
6 episodes.
Well, yeah, I want it to be 10.
A lot of
so I have to figure out what the
signs.
10 are going to be.
These numbers go to 6,
But,
though.
A lot of E's.
Yeah, episode, EP, 1 through
Not
6.
to be confused with Ethan.
Anyway.
Cool. Anyway, while you're listening along, why not head over to MidwestPodcastNetwork.com/support. Check out all the various ways you can support us. That includes buying shirts and hoodies from the store. You can also donate if you'd like to. Our Amazon affiliate link is there if you'd like to do some Amazon purchasing in order to extend some money to us. And also,
so that Brian can buy a VR.
Yeah, so Brian gets some VR. Also, don't forget to rate and review us on your podcatcher, whatever you use. I think iTunes is probably the most popular, maybe, at this point.
I think so. I don't know.
But it's probably I don't know. I just assume everybody has an iPhone.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
It's one of the biggest places that people get their
rate us on iTunes and rate us on Stitcher. I think you can do that.
Yep.
And I think you can also rate us on Google Play.
Zach is gonna grab a hoodie, so.
Oh, right on, Zach.
All right.
That's awesome.
They're nice hoodies.
They're pretty sweet.
I own them.
American Apparel.
I'm wearing
Although American
film
Apparel
nerds
just
right
got
now.
bought by Gildan, which is a Canadian company.
Yeah.
Gildan
So-
stuff kind of sucks.
It does, but I think that's kind of their game is they're trying to buy a brand that actually has good quality stuff in America, because when Donald Trump tells Canadian companies that they can't produce stuff in America or send stuff to America without getting taxed, that they can be like, our stuff's made in America now. So
It says American.
Midwest politics nerds coming soon.
Anyways.
We can invite Dad on the
I was
show.
trying to figure out a way to make a Midwest music nerds podcast or some sort.
That's
of
a lot of
sound to do
M's.
that. Yeah. But I don't know. We can talk about it another day. Anyways, thanks everybody for listening. Not sure what next episode's gonna be, or do we?
That's a good question. We just went over
Yeah,
the games,
we'll
didn't
have to figure that out. It'll be something cool though. And if you have any ideas, feel free to shoot us feedback. We love to hear from you. We appreciate when our fans send us feedback, especially you, Tom. I know you're out there.
Yeah, Tom wrote a feedback for the film nerds that I have not read yet.
And Tom also played For Honor or not For Honor.
Yes.
Did he play For Honor with you guys?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so he
And
played
Zach
with,
and Joey.
Yep. So that was cool. Anyways, thanks again for listening. We will check back with you soon. Peace.
Thanks everybody for watching as well.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
We love you, Zach and
Yeah.
Jeff.
Thanks for the instant feedback.
Yes, it was
2
awesome.
watchers. Are there more than 2 watchers?
We had 5 the whole time, so.
Oh,
Right.
tight.
Thanks,
Tight level.
you other 3.
You people who are quiet, talk to us next time.